With Ghanaians getting set for presidential elections, and African democratic credentials could be said to be on trial one more time in respect. However, Ghana has relatively fared better than many of its neighbors in West African region, and even on the continent. Many people in the country believe that this election will be a referendum on the government of President Akufo-Addo, whose attempt at economic reform has produced, at best, a mixed result. But he has also been credited largely with the successful reforms of the electoral process and extended friendship to hitherto political rivals. But the most celebrated achievement going to the election is the quality of leadership that he has offered Ghanaians in the management of the country's COVID-19 pandemic. So joining us now from Accra, Ghana, for a situational report is Arise correspondent TOKUNBOH OYETUNJI. Hello, TOKUNBOH. Can I use the word hello, Charlie? How are you? Because you're in Ghana now. TOKUNBOH, can you hear me?
Hi, Charlie.
Charlie, how be?
let me say, Akwaba, welcome to Ghana. Welcome to Accra.
How be?
That's where we are.
All right.
to you from Accra, from the street of Accra.
All right, leading up to elections today.
Where everything is...
Okay, leading up to the elections today, I just want you to give me an on-the-ground assessment of what is happening. But secondly, there's another news making the rounds in Ghana that the anti-corruption chief resigned. Now, a lot of people are saying this is looking fishy close to the election period. Can you just bring light to all of that and give us what's on ground in Ghana?
Well, Rufai, thank you very much once again for joining us in the city of Accra. We're standing right in front of the Jubilee House, the office of the president. So Ghanaians are all out today to choose who is going to be occupying this building just by my left side here for the next 4 years. Will it be the incumbent Nana Akufo-Addo or his main challenger John Dramani that will be chosen at the end of the day? Ghanaians are all out on the road to all across the polling units in the country to decide that, or will it be any of the 3 women that are participating in this exercise today? Ghanaians will be choosing, and in the next 24 hours, we are going to know. Talking about the issues, that have shaped the campaign and that will be determining how the people make their choice today, where corruption is one of it. Ghanaians are very, very much concerned about the issue of corruption, despite the gains that the country has recorded in recent years. So corruption is a very major issue. And you know what? Apart from corruption, the issue of youth development, unemployment, education, healthcare, and all of them are those issues that they are going to be weighing those candidates, especially the big 2 that, like everybody has been talking about them, Dramani and Akufo-Addo. The people are going to be assessing the 2 of them. Fortunately, the 2 of them have had the opportunity to actually serve the people at one time or the other. So it's like a referendum on the 2 of them today. What have you done in the area of corruption? What have you done in the area of education? What have you done in the area of infrastructure development and all that? So that will determine where the pendulum will swing.
Talk about the issue of the anti-corruption chief that left, that is raising the dust, all the dust in Ghana. Now, what's your take on that? Can you just make us understand what is happening? The issue of the anti-corruption chief that left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The idea is this. Like I said, it is part of I can't tell you exactly what led to the resignation of the man, but I must tell you that a major point that people are assessing this government based on is the issue of corruption. One, there has been this accusation of the president running a government of cronies, a government of friends, a government of family members, and all that. People who are close to him, are just in government. So corruption is a major issue that they are looking at. How the resignation of the anti-corruption chief will affect the exercise today is a very big deal. And at the end of the day, we are going to be knowing if the man was right taking his decision to actually resign from government or not. That is whether or not the people will be re-electing Mr. Akufo-Addo or not, based on how they assessed his performance in anti-corruption. But like I said earlier, corruption is a very big issue for the people because a lot of them that we interacted with since we arrived here, especially the youth, are not too happy the way corruption is being handled currently in Ghana, and they want a step up of the game.
Yes, you are absolutely correct. Corruption is a big issue. Even in 2018, when Charlotte Osei was removed as the Chief Electoral Commissioner in Ghana, and there have been allegations against President Akufo-Addo about money and all of that. But there are also issues about performance. You are absolutely right in that regard. But from your interaction with Ghanaians, although I know you are in Accra, and you may not be able to cover the entire country, what are the people's sentiments towards the two leading candidates? That's President Akufo-Addo and President Mahama. Do you see President Mahama getting an opportunity to come back, and this incumbent losing election? 3 incumbents in the past having lost election in Ghana.
Dr. Abati, the possibility is there for either of them. In fact, different opinions, different polls, are giving it to either of them. So it's strictly between the two of them. You will have noticed, Ghana, like some other African countries, especially Nigeria, where you are all tending towards a two-party system. Though they are multi-party democracies, but Ghana here is about the two big political parties, the NDC and the NPP. So today, the exercise will be based, like I said earlier, the issues that Ghanaians are very much concerned about: the issue of unemployment, the issue of healthcare, the issue of education, the issue of the economy, based on what the outbreak of COVID-19 has pushed on the entire world. Those are the things, the basic issues. Those are the most sentimental issues, most issues that are very high on the priority list of Ghanaians that they will be assessing these two gentlemen on, and will determine whether or not any of them will get a re-election. Let's start by looking at it this way. You see, the issue of COVID-19, the response of this current government, led by Mr. Nana Akufo-Addo, people are praising him really for his response to the COVID-19 outbreak, and especially his economic response to it, which has led to subsidizing or even giving free electricity to households in Ghana, and even free water to people of low income and even the middle class. That, in that regard, he has earned accolades. And another issue is the plan, the revitalization plan, the Ghana COVID-19 revitalization plan, which is aptly tagged Ghana Cares, a $17 billion intervention plans that he has, to inject into the economy to mitigate the effect of the COVID-19 on the Ghanaian economy. Of course, there was a 1.5% shrink in the Ghanaian economy forecast by the International Monetary Fund for the year 2020. That's in stark contrast with the 6.5% growth that the economy experienced in the previous year, 2019. So the incumbent president realized that the economy needs a very, very critical decision for it to be brought back to life. In that regard, that's what he's promising to the people. On the other hand, his opponent, Mr. Dramani, who equally was a president at the time, is equally promising. He realized how bad the economy has gone because of the effect of the COVID-19. He's equally promising a $10 billion intervention fund, which he has called the Big Push, to intervene in the economy and bring the economy back to life if he's re-elected. So these are the issues that the people will be looking at to determine whether or not any one of them will be re-elected. And also, let's bring it to you that Mr. Dramani, when he served then as president, was known to focus on infrastructure. As strong as that was for majority of the people, that is this thing as a weak point for him, because majority of the people who are not well-to-do accuse him of just focusing on infrastructure but not empowering them. But they think the incumbent president, Nana Akufo-Addo, is more of a president, a leader that is empowering the people. and focusing less on infrastructure. So these are the issues that will be on the front burner for the people as they make their choice to decide who will occupy this building by my left for the next 4 years. Dr. Abati.
So going back to that point about corruption being the bête noire of a lot of African countries, as if I referred to Martin Amidou, who was the head of the Office of the Special Prosecutor for Corruption, who actually came out and publicly accused the incumbent president, Akufo-Addo, of being corrupt. You'll recall that cost Mahama dearly in the last election, so that's not something Ghanaians really forgive easily. I want you to go back to that and address that point. In terms of weighing the number of scandals that have come out, which of the two administrations handled the issue of corruption better than the other? Because it's one thing for the president to be perceived as corrupt, but it's another to be perceived as somebody who is not corrupt but allows his cronies to get away with different things. Who are Ghanaians leaning more towards in that regard? And also with their social-political environment as Ghanaians. In the Freedom in the World report, Ghana consistently scores higher than Nigeria with regards to civil liberties, including press freedom. But there's a perception that is currently being curtailed under Akufo-Addo. What are your thoughts on that? And is that a part of what people are considering when they go to the polls?
Let's start with the issue of corruption. You know, from our interaction with the citizens here, majority of them, you know, when the incumbent president defeated Nana Akufo-Addo in the last election that brought him into power, John Dramani was accused of being corrupt, of not being active enough, of not handling national issues, you know, to their satisfaction. And the people bought into that sentiment then, and they actually voted for the incumbent president to win. Of course, the margin between them then was just about less than 2 million votes. So Dramani still had his supporters, he still had people who believed in him. Now what we have seen, what we have heard from the people, majority of those that we have interacted with, is that it was a mistake they made actually. So that majority of them agree that they made a mistake accusing Mr. Dramani of corruption. That what they are seeing in this government, this incumbent administration, is worse than what they actually accused the last administration of. So in that regard, we may be looking at, you know, more sentiment towards the opposition, Dramani. So that's some kind of point for it. But at the same time, there are people who are saying the man here, the current administration, is that, you know, that has learned the art of empowering the people, and that empowerment alone is good enough for them. At the same time, even that empowerment program, there are people who are not. In fact, we spoke to one or two women yesterday who said it's because of that empowerment that they are going to be voting against this government, because the empowerment did not get to them and their friends. So you see, it's neither here nor there. But it's a very big issue that the people are looking at. Something they made a mistake voting out Dramani out, while this time around they want to correct that mistake. Why some still think, well, it wasn't a mistake. They stood on, you know, the points that made them vote him out then, and they are still going to repeat the same thing this time around. In the area of human rights, upholding of human rights of the people of Ghana. From the pulse of the people that were felt here, I don't think they scored this administration low. I think for them, this administration is average as far as that issue is concerned.
I mean, real quickly, I want to talk about other issues. One will be one of the biggest programs touted in this administration that a lot of people, skeptics have said it's not worked. That's the One District, One Factory program. I mean, what's your read on ground as regards this program in Ghana? And secondly, I want to talk about the farmers and the cocoa board. You know, there have been major complaints by the farmers about, you know, how roads are not motorable. I mean, if you go up, you know, to places like the Volta region with its arable land, or when you just go up, places like Winneba and down up to the north and some other places like that in Ghana, there are major complaints of the fact that, the cocoa board could be run a little bit better to favor, you know, the farmers, and they need infrastructure in all those areas, you know, to be able to improve Ghana. Well, I mean, what do you say about all of this?
Well, I think the issue that has affected, like I told you earlier, what the IMF, the forecast, the shrink in the economy that the IMF forecast for the year 2020 for this country. One of the major reasons that IMF actually considered in making that forecast was the low oil production, global oil production that has a drop, and also the price of gold that has dropped in the international market. So this is a major issue that is affecting Ghana. You can accuse the administration of not focusing much on how to empower, how to put policies in place that will enhance these activities and will boost the production capacity of cocoa farmers and all that. But you can't take away the global issue that is affecting everybody. Of course, Ghana equally thrives on tourism, people moving into the country for foreign dollars. That has dropped significantly because of the COVID-19 issue. So generally, if you look at the issue, as much as people who are accusing the administration of not doing enough to actually make the economy work, we want to hit out at the present government. The global arena, the global happenings too, should be put into consideration to actually assess holistically what exactly is going on in Ghana. And so far, from what I told you earlier, some people think the administration is addressing the issue, the way it thinks best. But maybe that best may not be good enough for the people. We will know whether or not that is the issue at the end of today, or in 24 hours, like the Electoral Commission has promised us to release the result of the election, so that we know who wins.
Well, TOKUNBOH, I see you are somewhere around the president's office there in Accra, but I mean, you've been around Ghana now for about 2 days. Is there a holiday today for the election? 275 seats are up for election in electoral constituencies. Any take on the parliamentary election? And then is it possible for you maybe to show us what a polling station looks like in case voting has started, and maybe talk to a Ghanaian so that we can have a feel directly from somebody in Ghana?
The people. Well, let me start from the last observation. Election started by 7 a.m. We listened to the chairman of the Ghana Electoral Commission address the nation yesterday on their preparations, telling us that 240,000 field workers will be deployed for the election today, and between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. election will be conducted. I can tell you that at that 7 a.m. people started trooping out to the polling stations to actually participate in the process. Talking about what the situation looks like at the polling unit, I'm actually surprised to see that there is no much physical security presence at this polling unit. You only have just a security personnel. It could be a police officer, it could be from another security agency, unarmed, really, just like it is in Nigeria too, where they're just standing around, except there is any situation that they need to deal with. That's when they will call for reinforcement and they will deal with the situation. So far, everything is good. People are going about exercising their right to choose their next leader. As regards the 275 parliamentarians that will equally be elected today, let me tell you that the issue of the number one citizen, the issue of choosing the number one citizen is actually overshadowing that. In fact, hardly would you hear people talk about these representatives. But that's quite surprising, really, because those representatives are equally as important as the leader of the executive. But as the way it is, even as you go to the polling unit, what you do, according to the Electoral Commission, is you first go in there, you get accredited, you get your ballot paper to go and vote for the president. Then you repeat the same process to now vote for whoever the parliamentarian that you want to vote for will be. So voting for the president first, then you now take your ballot paper to vote for whoever you prefer as your parliamentarian. They're equally been elected, but I must tell you that the issue of who will become the president is actually overshadowing their own election. As regards whether there is a public holiday, yes, there is. Let me confirm that to you. But ordinarily, Ghana does not observe a public holiday for their election. But what happened this year is that there was supposed to be a national holiday on Friday, a Farmers' Day. They celebrated the National Farmers' Day. So it was supposed to be celebrated, on last Friday. But the president was said to have used his discretion to say, since our election is just on Monday, why don't we just shift this public holiday to Monday so everybody could have, the chance to actually go out there and participate, so that will bring in more people to participate in the process, rather than having to complain that they want to go to work and their other business activities. So it's a public holiday today, but even as a public holiday, people are moving about freely. There are no restrictions. There are no blockades. There are no security cordon like we normally. Like I said earlier, we're in front of the office of the president. Nobody's asking us any question while we're here, compared to some other places, especially Nigeria, where
no soldiers on the streets.
So other places you could mention.
Not even a policeman. Not even a policeman on the street. Talk less of a soldier, man.
Before you ask that next question, why don't we take a look at the Vox Pop that we were told you did yesterday, so that we can hear directly from the people of Ghana themselves?
Okay.
Yeah, we'll take that, and then we ask our question.
The one I'm voting for is really the one you want to win. So I'm hopefully it will be okay, man. That's me. It will be okay, right? Yeah, it will be okay, and we are ready for it, So they'll be talking much to us whenever you go to campaign. So we are ready for it, and we're still following them. So we're hoping that tomorrow everything's gonna be all right.
Oh, my consideration will be the person who help the nation, not the person we are not looking for anything concerning maybe it's my tribe or whatever. No. We are looking for a person who will help the country, who will put the country forward, so that the future leaders that are coming out can also benefit from the nation, or whatever they have done or they have done for the nation, they can also benefit from it. That's what we are looking for. For me particular, that's what I'm looking for.
So when you say the person who can help the nation, in what area? Addressing unemployment, addressing infrastructure, making sure that the economy works better. Are those the issues, or do you have any more specific issues?
Oh, those are the issues. You have education background also, working. There's no work in the nation or in the country. There's no work. They have to provide more works for the nation. The youth too are coming out, also have to get something to do. Not that you complete school, now you don't have work to do. And also the technical side also. There are people who cannot afford the school, but they are trained and under trained. They have to produce something like that for them also, so that when they come out, not that they have learned work, they will stay at home without doing anything. They can also achieve something in the future for themselves and for the family also. I think those are the things that I want for the nation. And also there are people who have a technological mind, and we abandon them. We can't help them to build or to bring out something what they have in mind. That also is killing the nation. You understand? So I will be expecting something like that. The government will come also to help something like that to go, so that we can move the Ghana forward. That's what I'm also looking for.
The Obama or mine, I coso. Na ye moframa na eba no so benya djuma papa bi ayeden aye na ye mpanifo no so ye mmere.
Said the one who come, they will come and maybe come and give Ghana peace. Or nowadays, if you are selling, you don't buy. If you go to market, you don't get money. And so now the one that the two of them, if he's going to vote, if he vote, maybe vote for your mama. If your mama come, your mama will come and do something more than this one. And if I go for to come and do, that's why they is talking like that.
You heard them. They are all in the mood, just like the rest of the country, to choose who is going to be their leader for the next 4 years. And whoever that is, they're hoping that we will embark on actions that will make life and living better for everybody in the country, no matter their ethnic or religious divide.
Well, thank you very much, TOKUNBOH OYETUNJI. You were still going to ask him a question.
Yes, great job, TOKUNBOH, but I had to ask you about the women before we run out of time. What are the prospects? Obviously, the most famous one, the widow of the late Jerry Rawlings, Nana Konadu Agiaman, and we also have Akua Donkor and Bridget Zogbemenuku. I don't know how to pronounce her surname, sorry. What are their prospects? And special shout-outs to Jean Mensah, the chairperson of their electoral commission. Our version of INEC is a woman.
Yes.
Which is great to note.
Yes.
Well, if I heard you right, Tudu, you're talking about the chances of the women in this exercise. Yes. Of course, like I tried to point out earlier in this discussion, it's one situation, one development that Ghanaians are very much excited about. Of course, the two big contenders, the incumbent president and his familiar for John Dramani, have taken the lead in the discourse leading to this whole exercise. But people are still very excited. Even some of their supporters, they know that they may not win. But the fact that they are brave enough to actually come out to participate, to say, I want to be president, I want to lead my people, is something that they are applauding. And they're thinking it's a way to go, even if not for the immediate gains, but for the future gains. Because as, like one of them said, the beauty queen Zogbenu is quite a mouthful, a name to pronounce, but you pardon me if I don't get it right. She said she sees herself, she sees herself, of being in a position to actually influence the people, especially women and youth. And she wants to leverage on that to actually see if the entire nation can give her the opportunity to move ahead and occupy this building, the first office in the land, and actually point the direction, for Ghana to go. Another person that is whose case is of particular interest is the Akua Donkor, another 68-year-old woman who is equally in this contest. Her case is particularly interesting because she's been accused of not having a formal education, and yet she's been able to find her way to this level. In fact, she was a representative of her people at a time. So, despite the fact that people are saying she doesn't have a formal education, she appears unstoppable. She doesn't allow that to stop her. In fact, a cardinal point of campaign is free education from primary to secondary school level, so as to be able to give the opportunity that she did not get as a child, as a growing up person, to young and the youth in Ghana. So, and if you talk about the woman who is probably the most talked about a woman, female politician in Ghana today, the vice presidential candidate of the NDC, Jane.
She's formidable. A
former professor who has equally found herself, and a former minister too, who has now found herself contesting as the vice president, and she's, if the John Jane ticket is actually chosen today to lead the country, she'll be making history as the first vice president of the Republic of Ghana. That is a thing that the entire country is actually very excited about, and they're hoping that it will come to pass at the end of the day.
Thank you very much. I hope you will take time out to also enjoy Banku and Ghanaian jollof as you report the news. But we hope there will have been more women in the race, just about 12%. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much.